I started to feel better and better as the summer went on. Played a lot. Was getting worn down, but I was ready to keep on going. I started, like I said, feeling more and more comfortable as the weeks went on, and felt great this week. Really didn't, make a whole lot or take advantage of how I was hitting it, until I made a few yesterday to kind of get back and get things going.
In 2025, Rickie Fowler's name wasn't echoing across leaderboards anymore. It showed up in highlight reels from the past, not in the present tense of Sunday contention. 9 tournaments, 0 top, 10 finishes. For a 6-time PGA Tour winner who was once marketed as the face of golf's future, this wasn't just a slump. It was a slow, painful slide out of relevance. Reports from Yahoo Sports and Golf Monthly painted the same bleak picture. Fowler hadn't seriously contended all season. No injuries to blame. No off-course drama. Just week after week of grinding with nothing to show for it. He was playing. He was practicing. He was trying. But nothing clicked. His swing looked out of sync. His putter, once reliable under pressure, went cold at the worst moments. And the world ranking confirmed what fans feared. 25th. For most players, that would be respectable. For Rickie Fowler, it felt shocking. For the first time in more than a decade, Fowler wasn't secure. He wasn't chasing trophies. He was chasing cuts, chasing relevance, chasing the right to stay where he'd always belonged. The golden boy of golf wasn't a story anymore. And what hurt most wasn't criticism, it was silence. Fans weren't angry. They were forgetting. And in professional sports, being forgotten is far worse than losing. By the time May rolled around and the Truist Championship approached, Fowler wasn't even qualified to play. He didn't earn his spot through rankings. He didn't get there through points. His name wasn't high enough anywhere. The only reason he was in the field was a sponsor's exemption, a wild card invite rooted in legacy, not form. To some players, that kind of invite feels like a goodbye, a courtesy nod to what you used to be, a quiet farewell wrapped in politeness. But sometimes that single invitation is all a competitor needs. One chance, one opening, one moment to rewrite the story. That exemption wasn't just a favor. It was a message, subtle but clear. Maybe you still have something left. And Rickie Fowler heard it loud and clear. Instead of shrinking under the weight of doubt, he turned it into fuel. This wasn't charity. This was desperation mixed with determination. Fowler felt the whispers. He heard the questions. Reporters openly wondered why he even belonged in the field. And instead of pushing back defensively, he leaned into it. The negativity actually helps me, Fowler told ESPN. It motivates me. That wasn't empty talk. It was a warning. Golf is usually about rhythm, patience, and calm repetition. But when Fowler arrived in Philadelphia, he brought something else with him: emotion, edge, fire. The rankings had buried him. The headlines had moved on. But he hadn't forgotten who he was. And when the Truist Championship teed off on May 8th, 2025, at the historic Philadelphia Cricket Club, a course known for punishing hesitation and exposing weakness, Rickie Fowler didn't just return. He exploded. The course was brutal. Tight fairways, demanding greens, zero forgiveness for hesitation. Every hole asked a question, and most players answered cautiously. Fowler didn't. He started steady. Calm pars, controlled swings. No panic, no flash. Then everything changed. Holes 4, 5, and 6 birdie, birdie, birdie. Suddenly, it was vintage Rickie Fowler. Confident swings, fearless putts, red numbers stacking on the board. Not quietly, loudly. The kind of stretch that doesn't whisper to the field, it announces itself. The golf world hadn't been watching closely, but now it had no choice. As Fowler moved into the back nine, something was clear. His rhythm was alive. His body language had shifted. Every swing looked intentional, focused, controlled. And then came the moment that sealed it, the 16th hole. A 25-foot downhill breaker that most players would lag safely for par. Fowler didn't hesitate. He read it, trusted it, and drained it dead center. The crowd erupted. That wasn't luck. That was belief, swagger, precision, confidence earned the hard way. You could feel the energy changing with every step. every cheer growing louder. This wasn't a guy hanging on. This was a player taking over. When Fowler walked off the 18th green, the scoreboard told a story few expected to read. A stunning 63-7 under par, tied with Colin Morikawa. Just 2 shots behind Keith Mitchell's blistering 61. But that day wasn't about Mitchell. It wasn't about Morikawa. It was about Rickie Fowler. The man who needed a sponsor's exemption just to tee it up had become the headline. That 63 wasn't nostalgia. It wasn't a feel-good moment. It was a statement, a warning, proof that Rickie Fowler wasn't finished. Not even close. This wasn't a golfer living off reputation. This was a competitor playing like every shot mattered because it did. Already lost the spotlight, the rankings, the automatic invites. All he had left was pride and grit, and he played like it. While others played safe, Fowler went all in, fearless, focused. Every swing carried defiance. Every putt spoke directly to the doubters. They said his swing was gone, that the game had passed him by. But that Thursday, he outscored Morikawa, kept pace with Mitchell, and beat players a decade younger. He didn't smile much. No winks, no charm, just laser focus. When the round ended, he didn't celebrate. He signed his card and walked off quietly. Calm, steady. He wasn't chasing approval. He was reclaiming himself. And then came the ripple. Fast, loud, everywhere. Headlines exploded. Fowler turns back the clock. Rickie lights up the truest. ESPN, Golf Monthly, PGA Tour Live, all talking about him again. Fans noticed too. Social media flooded with clips of that putt on 16. Comments poured in. Vintage Rickie. Golf's better with him in it. Chills watching this. It wasn't hype. It was relief. Like seeing an old friend return and remind everyone why they believe in him in the first place. For years, Fowler had been known for close calls and heartbreak finishes. But now, he wasn't what could have been. He was what might still be. Suddenly, his PGA Championship invite didn't feel like a favor. It felt earned. And the timing couldn't have been better. Golf in 2025 was tense, divided, loud, full of drama. But then came Rickie Fowler playing fearless, playing free, reminding everyone what pure golf looks like. No politics, no noise, just competition. For one afternoon in Philadelphia, Hope wore orange and shot a 63. When Rickie Fowler makes noise, the golf world pays attention. But when he starts winning hearts again, something bigger happens. People start to believe. ESPN and Golf Monthly noted that his putting inside 10 feet was sharp again. His scores were dropping, his confidence rising. He wasn't rebuilding, he was returning. That's the difference. Rebuilds are cautious. Returns are dangerous. This didn't feel like nostalgia. It felt like a warning. You forgot about me. Big mistake. And here's the wildest part, he hadn't even won yet. But one round changed everything. It flipped his season, maybe his career. The man who was nearly invisible had become unavoidable again. And just days before the PGA Championship lineup locked, another quiet headline dropped. Rickie Fowler received a special exemption to compete. No hype, no fanfare, just belief. The PGA Championship doesn't hand out spots easily. When Fowler's name appeared, it meant something. This wasn't sympathy. It was trust. Trust earned over years of impact, relevance, and what he means to the game. You don't give Rickie Fowler a chance and expect him to stay quiet. He walked into the PGA Championship, not as a guest, but as a threat. Golf comebacks are rarely clean. They're messy. They fade fast. But what Fowler was doing in 2025 felt different. His rhythm was back, his confidence visible, the sparks turning into something real. According to ESPN, his stats told a story. Scoring average improving, putting sharp, momentum building, influence returning. Even without a win, he was climbing again, and fans felt it. This comeback wasn't just about one player. It was about resilience, redemption, why people fell in love with golf in the first place. In a season full of chaos, Rickie Fowler stepped back into the spotlight and reminded everyone what belief looks like. The question isn't whether he's back, it's how far this goes. Because returning legends don't just capture attention, they capture belief. And Rickie Fowler? He's not done. Not even close.